What a treat and a delight to share time with my now dear friend and colleague, Rachel Geller, All Cats All the Time. She has a nonprofit, which is her. She gives of herself, her time, her wisdom, her patience, her compassion, her passion for cats and the people who live with them. Rachel, you really are extraordinary. And the last time we talked, there were, I don't know, 1,300 or something people who clicked on the episode. You are a star of Cat Chat because the advice you give is valuable, but so kind and inclusive of people who think, oh God, I'm doing everything wrong, or oh God, what's wrong with this cat? So, what are the topics that you've dealt with recently with some of the people who come to you for help? And anyone who needs help, go to All Cats All the Time. As I said, Rachel does this completely out of the goodness of her heart. But if after she's given you the help or before she gives you the help, you think, let me donate because that allows her to help even more cats, which is what she does through shelters and other places where cats need help. Talk about the safe room and the sanctuary, which is an idea you have that's been really helpful for people.
So first, Tracy, thanks for this lovely opportunity. I always enjoy being on your show. Okay, having said that, many people, when they adopt a new cat, are so excited. They have this new adorable little furry creature to care for, and they're given the instructions to start off the cat in what many people call a safe room or a sanctuary room. And this just means a room that the cat has to herself. And the adopter feels so badly about having the cat stay in this little room all by herself that she thinks, she seems okay. I'm going to open the door and let her out to explore. And guess what happens? Because the cat now does not have her sanctuary room, she becomes completely overwhelmed with all of
Yes.
this new territory, new smells, new sounds, new people. And she finds the most teeniest tiny place to hide in the house, even smaller than that sanctuary room you were
Yes.
feeling bad about. And
Yes.
now we have a problem. We have a brand new cat. She's terrified. She's gone under your bed, like in the middlemost part where it's impossible for you to reach her. And you don't want to pull her out, or she finds some hidey hole someplace. And now we're really getting off on the wrong foot or the wrong paw, should I say.
Yes.
So we always want to start our cats off in what I call a sanctuary room and provide a safe, secure environment in a room that is cat proofed. So what do I mean by that? We have a nice solid door. So even though the cat is in her own room, she's not constantly being barraged by sights and smells outside of that room. We're
Yes.
going to block off, if there's a bed or a bureau in this room, before we bring the cat in, we're going to block off the underneath because we don't want the cat to spend all of her days hiding from you. However, we do understand that cats like to hide as a way to cope. So we're going to have accessible hiding places for the cat. What do I mean by that? A cat cube, a cat cave, a
Yes.
tunnel, a perch, a cat tree, somewhere that where your cat can go, because that is a natural cat method for coping, but we can still work with the cat. You can still sit next to the cat. You can still visit with the cat. And that brings me to another point. The sanctuary room is not a prison cell. Don't look
Right.
at it as like a punishment. She is going to have plenty to do in that small room just to get used to for now. And you can go in as often as you want to and visit with your new cat. You can sit on the floor next to her. And what I suggest people do at the beginning is adopt a non-threatening pose, which would be sitting on the floor so you're not towering over the cat. Have
Right.
something in your hands that you're looking at, your laptop, a book. It's a great time to catch up on your Facebook likes or comments. Knitting, you get the point.
Yes.
Have something in your hands and have your eyes on that item that's in your hands. That is a very non-threatening posture for a cat.
It's interesting. There's a couple of things you've said, one of which is blocking off the underneath of a bed. Now, how do you recommend doing that? Because if you pillows,
Mhm.
bolsters, cardboard for real, because once the cat finds the underside of a bed as a safe place, and the box spring often has this kind of cheeseclothy, that may not be the right word, material, because I've had a cat go up underneath the box spring and be like under in the box spring, and that's even worse. And you think you should haul them out. You know that can't be right. So how do you block off that underside?
So I recommend to people to use luggage or storage.
Oh,
Luggage, I think, is the best. And that's
yeah,
something most of us already have. So I recommend
yeah,
luggage. And if you can't get the whole bottom, that's okay. But start from that farthest point in the middle of the bed and block off there and then do what you can. But we really don't want to be like reaching in to grab the cat and pull her
right.
out. That's the worst case scenario. So I recommend luggage. And the other thing I recommend is storage containers. So a
Brilliant.
lot of us already have those
Yes,
plastic storage bins, that you can get from Target or any
yes,
type of, and so
that's
since you're
great.
home anyway with your new cat, you're not going to be traveling and you won't need a lot of extra storage. So put that to good use and put it under the bed or under a bureau because it
That's
is her natural instinct to hide, right? But we want it to be in a way that we can work with the cat and get her to trust us, and having the cat all the way into that bed or your experience climbing up into that
yeah.
mattress, which can happen too, is that's not the route we want to go with our new addition to the family.
So that's really smart. I was thinking to block it from the outside, and you're saying block it from the inside. If anyone's ever been in a very small hotel room or on a cruise ship, they want you to store your luggage under the bed. So you put it
Yes,
under, and then it's right at the edge, and then there's no entry point. The
yes,
other thing you're saying is that we are threatening to cats. They're prey animals and they don't know us yet. And who knows what their prior experience of humans was? Or maybe they're just wired to be extra vigilant. So the idea of sitting with your knitting, your book, or your device is really interesting because that's what they also recommend doing with wild horses, not to sit there because you could get trampled. But horses, like cats, are curious if you are non-threatening, not making eye contact, not reaching out and going, "Here, kitty. Oh, come here. Oh, come on. Let me just, give you this treat or pat you." If you're just sitting there, they're like, "Huh, what's up with that human?" Right?
yeah.
Let them come to you and then don't snatch them and stick them in your lap. Let them explore at their
Yes,
pace.
exactly. Let the cat set the pace of the interaction. Eventually, she's going to feel safe enough to come out and sniff your feet or sniff your hand. And when that happens, don't make it like a huge big deal. You don't want the cat
Right,
to come out and sniff, and you're like, oh, the cat's sniffing me. Keep it cool, keep it
right.
calm. This is no big deal. And let the cat set the pace. Eventually, the cat will feel safe enough to come out and start exploring you, and let her do that. Let the cat make the first move.
So we call it a sanctuary room, and you say this small room, but in some people's houses, that could be a whole extra bedroom, which is actually maybe potentially quite large. In an apartment, could even be the bathroom. Could it be the
Yes,
bathroom in an apartment?
it could absolutely be the bathroom. I work with many people who live in New York City,
Yes.
in to teeny tiny studios, and we use a bathroom, and which is fine. I have a lot of clients actually in Hong Kong who have the same situation, these teeny tiny
Really?
apartments. Yes, somehow I
Cool.
got my information got passed around
Wow.
from one shelter in Hong Kong, and now I'm a regular.
Oh,
So
that's so neat. That's
it
very
is
exciting.
neat. It is pretty
International
neat.
Rachel. That's cool.
Who knew? Who knew? But remember, they're only going to be in this room for a week or so. And cats don't think about space and the largeness of the territory the
Right.
way we do. We look at our world horizontally.
Yes.
The refrigerator takes up space on the floor, the desk takes up space on the floor.
Yes.
We look at how much floor space that we have horizontally. Cats look at the world vertically. So
Mhm.
you can be in a tiny bathroom, but that ceiling is going to be way above the height of your cat. So they're not reacting to the size of that tiny bathroom the way a human would.
They're looking up and hoping there's some place they
Yes,
could go to get away up. If they look at the refrigerator, once they're out of their safe room, they see the top of the fridge as a
yes,
very good roosting spot to look down on everything from. So you said
exactly.
a
Yes.
week or so. Everyone wants to say, how long, Rachel? How long's the right amount of time? But it really depends on the cat. How do you let the cat know? How do you let the cat tell you that they want to come out? Are they sniffing at the door a lot and acting really curious about what's on the other side?
Yeah, and just like people, each cat takes her own time to
Yes.
warm up to like you
Yes.
and the new surroundings. I'm the type that if I go to a party and I don't know anyone, I'm perfectly fine to sit in the corner and drink a
Yes.
glass of wine and be by myself. Other people walk into a party and not know anybody, and by the end of the night, like they're the mayor, or they've met everybody and made the rounds. So
Yeah,
cats are
right.
just like people in
Mm-hmm.
that regard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some are going to be more shy at first, and others are going to want to jump right in. So again, follow the cat's lead. When the cat discovers that there might be something exciting on the other side of that door, maybe when she hears you coming, she's trying to get out. When you're
Yes.
leaving, she's trying to get out. And those are signs that she's starting to feel okay with you and that she might be ready to see what's on the other side. But we don't want to present like your whole home to the cat in one fell
Exactly.
swoop. Yeah, so I recommend closing some bedroom doors. If your house is on more than one level, keep a cat on that level where the sanctuary room is and let her learn about her new home in increments.
Yeah.
First a couple of rooms. When that's going okay, we can open some doors and some more rooms. When that's going okay, we can add another level. With cats in general, you never want to go from 0 to 60 in one pass. So we
Right.
want to be incremental, and it's always better to go slower than faster. So err on the side of caution, go a little slower or more gradually than you think you may need to, and let her take in all of this new environment at her own rate. And she will let you know. And some cats open the door to the sanctuary room and they don't even really want to come out right away. And that's okay too. You can open the door a little bit, leave it open for 10 or 15 minutes. The cat sees, okay, nothing catastrophic is happening. The world isn't caving in around me. Close the door and try again in a couple of hours or the next day. So we can pace it according to the cat's needs and the cat's sense of security.
We really have to put ourselves in the cat's shoes because it's too easy to think, look at this wonderful place. And there's lots of, look, I've got a cat tree in this room and I've got a cube in the other room. Just put them in the sanctuary room in the beginning. Let these become the furniture, if you will, of the cat safe room. And I guess later you can move those pieces out into other rooms as the rooms themselves become a place of desire for the kitty cat. Rachel,
Yes.
this is great advice and just really important that everyone remember that you got to see it from the floor up and remember how much they see, smell, and hear. And it can be a tsunami of input and sometimes be too overwhelming. So less
Yes.
is more and slower is better, right?
Absolutely. I always tell the people who come to me that in these matters, it's always best to go at the cat's pace.
Yes, exactly. Rachel Geller, you're amazing. All cats all the time. That is you all day long. Thank you for being here and being there for all the cats around the world, it turns out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy.